don't know how we're going to talk about this one thing for 6.5-ish minutes, but let's try. Saturday, I had decided I was going to make bread from scratch. Super excited. This is not the first time I just randomly get this urge to bake bread. And Saturday, I was going to Aldi with my boys, and my oldest was like, cool, can we have pizza for dinner? And I said, sure, we can have pizza for dinner. I can make the dough from scratch, which really led to us having pizza for dinner on Sunday night, not Saturday night. But the moral of the story is that the dough didn't rise properly, and I was not a fan of the outcome. It wasn't bad tasting. It was just dense, and that's just not how I like pizza dough. Anyways, I know there's a multitude of reasons. My dad reminded me, you might have just not held your mouth just right, because science. And of course, that wasn't actually what he said. This is just me paraphrasing, because he said something about humidity, the time of day, etc. Anyways, we stretched the dough out into these rectangular shapes. I baked them for a little while and then had everybody decorate their pizzas themselves. My oldest son, he was pretty stoked about this because, of course, it was his idea. I helped him out just a little bit to kind of spread things out a little bit better. He had sauce, cheese, spinach, pepperonis. Done. He was very excited about it. And I mean, we tossed a little bit of seasoning on the spinach, but otherwise, he really enjoyed it. Of course, he went a little overboard on the pepperonis for a minute, and I had to bring him back onto the ground here and tell him, no, you can't have 37 pieces of pepperoni on this small pizza. But you know, we still went with like 15, and he was super happy about it. Just kidding. I think that's actually 18. My daughter, she wanted me to put the sauce on for her, and she goes in a different order. She's got sauce, pepperoni, then cheese. She was very excited about this, but the way that she eats most everything is that the bread is a vessel, and she just picks everything off of it. That includes sandwiches, tacos. It's just a way for her to get the items she likes, and then she picks them all off. So we decorated this pizza, and she was very happy about it, and what was left was the entire crust and little pick marks from her fingernails. This is mine and my husband's pizza. We split it, and there was some left over, of course. But his side had red sauce, cheese, pepperoni, salami. Mine was Alfredo sauce, cheese, spinach, mushrooms, and tomatoes. Of course, with some garlic salt seasoning on there. And I do buy that garlic salt from Aldi. And the whole purpose behind grabbing that was, it's my favorite garlic salt. It's not too much salt, it's not too much garlic, and it has parsley in it too, and it's really cheap. Anyways, we went ahead and got the pizzas all baked up. I think they ranged between 5 and 10 minutes extra in the oven, which could also have contributed to the texture or density of the dough. And if that's the case, then darn. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to try again. I'm actually going to bake some bread within the next few days, because this is trying to mess with my spirit, and I know that I am capable of baking very good bread. This is how my oldest son's pizza turned out. As you can tell, it looks great. There was nothing wrong. He ate as much of it as he could, and what was left over went out to the chickens. My daughter's pizza is right here. I already told y'all what happened to hers. The leftover crust in its entirety went to the chickens. They were very happy. They love bread. They love pecking at everything, really. This is my younger son's pizza. He was actually in the shower when everybody else was assembling theirs, so he very happily assembled his pizza, and he had sauce, cheese, pepperoni, and a couple of pieces of tomato. He didn't want any spinach on his pizza, and he didn't want any of the pepperoni, not the pepperoni, any of the salami on there either. I had to convince him that he wanted the rest of the cheese that was in the bowl, so that was just me adding the rest of the cheese from the bowl. And he was trying to be very artistic while he was decorating with his pizza, his pepperoni slices, I mean, and he was just kind of flinging them out there and putting them where he wanted. And then he decided that, you know, he needed to move them around a bit. And I tried to convince him to put more on there, and he was just not having it. After he got done playing with the pepperoni, that was when he decided he wanted more toppings, and the more toppings just ended up being tomato slices, and he did not eat the tomato slices. And here's mine and my husband's pizza. This is just me cutting it in half. And then I had to put the jar of sauce away. And this is my younger son's pizza. Once it was done, notice he had a slice of tomato on multiple pieces. He had that, and then he only had it on like half of his pizza. But he didn't eat it all.